and then we'll get to questions here in a minute. Since becoming Speaker, I was contacted by federal authorities regarding an ongoing investigation related to the former Speaker's office. I have been and I will continue to be in full cooperation with the authorities as they continue their investigation. On the advice of both legal and ethics counsel, I am placing everyone that was subject to the execution of today's search warrants on administrative leave until further notice. A personal note before we take questions. This has been a trying week for our country, and this will be a difficult time for our state as well as we go down this road. Personally, these are our friends and colleagues of ours that we've worked with for many years. It's important to remember that this is just the start of the investigation and the process and not the end. Today does not necessarily imply guilt. I have spoken to the governor, the lieutenant governor, leadership in both parties about this morning's events. I will remain transparent and communicate as more becomes known throughout this process. I will also continue to work with the federal authorities, and I will encourage my colleagues to cooperate with them as well if they are asked to. With that, I'll answer questions and try to answer the best I can on the limited amount of information that I can provide at this time.
Speaker, Happy New Year. Can you tell us who were the members that they're on the staff being searched? So we know Robin Smith. Can you tell us the rest of the members?
I think the media reports have been accurate that I have read on those members who were part of the search this morning.
So 4 members. Is there anyone else, any staff, any staffer that has been searched as well?
How many members did you say?
4.
I don't think that's accurate. Okay.
So can you
can
tell
you
us?
list the names of the lawmakers?
Well, what names are you in your 4?
Speaker, you can tell us the names.
Well, I think you're talking about if you're looking at offices here or if you're looking at homes. I think there's a difference.
So 4 members have been searched: Robin Smith, Glenn Cassada, Todd Warner, and Ken Calfee.
Their offices.
Correct. Their offices. Is my understanding that Representative Calfee is not part of the investigation.
Can you talk about the you said you have been contacted with law enforcement since you took over regarding the former Speaker. Can you talk a little bit more about what that investigation is and what is it regarding the voucher plan, or is it something entirely different?
At this point, I cannot. I would have to refer you back to the federal authorities to answer that since it's their investigation. We stand by our statement that as we became Speaker, they reached out to us, contacted us, and we've been working with them and cooperating.
When you say as you became Speaker, was it shortly after, or did you know about this before you were even in office?
As I became Speaker. So.
Who's been placed on administrative leave?
If you would like to have that information, we'll be happy to have HR, since that's an issue with HR that makes that determination. We'll have HR, if you'd like to reach out to Connie, we will have her confirm that for you.
Do you know if there will be any other warrants for any other representatives, lawmakers, or is it just going to be with this group?
I'm not aware of that right now. That's another question for the federal and their investigation. All we did was cooperate best we can based on what they were asking.
Mr. Speaker, for the employees who were placed on administrative leave, why were they placed on administrative leave exactly?
The employees?
Yeah.
As being employees, they had search warrants, which does not imply guilt or innocence or anything of that nature. But since they're part of an active investigation, after consulting with ethics and legal counsel and HR, it was best to determine that the appropriate measure would be to place those individuals on administrative leave until further notice.
How long do you think they'll be on?
Until further notice.
Is this a paid leave or?
It's a paid leave.
Is there also you mentioned ethics counsel? Is there also an ethics investigation going on into these lawmakers?
Well, technically, this is a subpoena. There's no indictment. There's no arrest. This is a subpoena. So at this point, there's no ethics investigation. No.
So I guess my question, and I have to ask again, in terms of staff, besides the lawmakers, do you have any staff members that are being investigated as well or have been searched? their offices?
The offices that were searched, and HR will confirm to you on what staff are being placed on administrative leave based off a subpoena.
Any idea as to why now? I mean, why didn't you guys do this sooner after you were in office?
Well, this was not me doing this. This was merely cooperating with the federal authorities. That question would be best for them on why today or not 3 months ago. That's not my doing. That's their job to make that determination.
And I'm sorry if you said this. When did the FBI first approach you about this investigation?
If I refer back to my statement, since becoming Speaker.
Yeah. So when was that? I know you just said as you were becoming Speaker. Is that
When you left the room,
Was that,
being elected, or was the next
yeah,
day?
was that August 2019?
Shortly thereafter. I'm not going to get into the dates because that's part of the investigation that will come out later. I'm sure.
Could you say shortly after becoming Speaker?
Since becoming Speaker, that was, last year. So, since last year.
Does this have anything to do with with an effort to unseat Rick Tillis?
Once again, this is part of the investigation. I'm assuming at some point they will release more information as it becomes available. This is the investigation of the FBI and any federal authority thereof, so that would be a better indication from them at this point on what this is or what this isn't.
Do you feel like this is sort of, I don't know, vindication is the right word, but sort of backs up the vote that the caucus took of no confidence in former Speaker Cassida?
We're not going to go down the road of past acts. I think this day is a sad day for Tennessee and the General Assembly. As we move forward, friends and colleagues, I'm not going to sit here and hypothesize about what is or what isn't based on past actions. I'm just here merely talking about the actions of today and how we've been cooperating, and we're asking the rest of our colleagues and members to do the same.
With session starting, does this cast any dark shadow over what, how you guys, the lawmakers are getting ready to come back and gather? Do you think that this is going to impact it or, have any sort of set the tone for any of it?
We'll see. However, we're going to have to go back into session and continue to do what we were elected to do as we go through this investigative process. I'm sure there will be more things available in the future, potentially. I don't know how fast or how slow this will move, but we will gavel in on Tuesday, swear in the members, and start the process of session this year.
As we start the session this year, do you recommend that the caucus fully embrace these members who were subject to these searches as any other member? Do you think that there should be some kind of discipline action taken? Should everyone go on as normal with these members?
At this point, until there's an internal ethics investigation, which is not warranted right now, we will proceed. How members interact with each member is to their own accord and what they feel comfortable with at this point. Last question.
So you were advised when you became Speaker. When did you learn about what was going on this morning? Has it happened or before?
I can't discuss that. It's part of the investigation. I did have a conversation today with the Lieutenant Governor and Governor, informing them of the activities that were happening today with leadership as well as both parties. So I stand with my statement that we've been cooperating with the federal authorities as we go forward. We will continue to do so. I will be as transparent with you all as I can based on when information is known and when it is released. I appreciate you all coming today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you all. Why would there not be an ethics investigation?
But what the fuck, how did it happen?
Is Speaker Sexton going to call for an ethics investigation?
That's all we have at this time. So why that's all we have at this time. Thank you. 12 questions.
Oh shit, I forgot to get a photo of the great Cameron.